A Reddit user recently shared a bone-chilling experience from a late-night visit to the Eerie Pioneer West Tower during the height of the COVID lockdown. At around 1 a.m., they snapped a photo of the 19th century structure, only to later spot something deeply unsettling. A faint, human-like figure lurking near a tree. What makes it even more disturbing? Just behind the apparition lies a forgotten graveyard, the final resting place of pioneers who died building the tower. But the story doesn't end there. The memory still haunts the user, especially after a close friend who was with them that night passed away unexpectedly just 1 year later. A group of friends on a trip to Alaska snapped a photo to remember the moment and later posted it on Reddit. According to the original poster, everyone present was accounted for when the picture was taken. But when they zoomed in on the background, they noticed something deeply unsettling. A pale gray face with glowing eyes staring back at them. One commenter tried to rationalize it, suggesting it might be a piece of gear with reflective buttons that just happened to look like a face. That sounds logical, except that the Redditor wasn't convinced. They claimed they checked all their equipment right after spotting the anomaly and found nothing that could explain the eerie figure. So, was it just a trick of the light? Or did they unknowingly capture something not of this world? On July 12, 2023, a group of backpackers was scaling the steep trails of China's Ham Mountain when disaster nearly struck. Just 2 meters from the ground, one woman lost her grip and slipped. In a heart-stopping moment, she plummeted only to be caught just in time by fellow hikers below, narrowly escaping serious injury. The close call has sparked serious concern among the mountain's facility managers, who are now considering shutting down that particular route. In its place, they're recommending a safer alternative trail to ensure future adventurers can enjoy the climb without risking their lives. While driving home from a remote mountain area, a Reddit user decided to snap a quick photo to share with friends later. But when they looked at it more closely, something caught their eye. A strange, eerie figure near an old house. Was it a trick of the light? Someone caught mid-motion? Or something far more unsettling? Whether it was a supernatural presence or just an oddly timed shot, one thing's for sure. The photo left them with more questions than answers. Reddit user Lucky Beautiful Thoughts 2083 recently shared a chilling experience from a haunted house tour at the Eerie Plastag mansion in North Wales. While exploring the grounds with her cousin and father, she kept her phone ready, hoping to catch a glimpse of something supernatural. And then, it happened. Through her camera lens, she spotted a pale, ghostly figure lurking behind a tree. Frozen in fear, she lowered her phone to look with her own eyes, only to find the figure had vanished. She later explained that the road outside the mansion has a dark reputation, known for frequent hauntings and mysterious car accidents, including the legend of the Grey Lady. Though Plastag is now closed to the public, she admits she's still eager to return and uncover more of its haunted secrets. Around 5 a.m., a Reddit user's security camera captured something truly eerie. The motion sensor was triggered by what looked like a ghostly figure gliding into view. Some Redditors claim it's a full-body apparition, while others think there's a more logical explanation. The clip is grainy and short, leaving room for speculation, but seriously, what else could it be? A Reddit user recently shared a chilling photo from their backpacking trip deep in the forest. At first glance, it seemed like nothing, until the group took a closer look and felt a cold shiver crawl down their spines. The eerie figure captured in the photo wasn't part of their group, and no one remembered seeing her during the hike. Call it a glitch, a ghost, or just a trick of the light. But I don't know about you, that's not a bug. A Reddit user recently posted a spine-chilling video of a group of boys hiking at night. As they made their way down a dark, forested trail, they spotted something unsettling.
Tollison? You're not cold? You're crazy, my guy. You scaring people like that. Just get out, bro. Just get out.
Fucking drugs brought you here, my nigga.
My nigga's naked. Oh, shit. Oh!
A man standing motionless in a freezing river. He just stood there, eerily still, as if he belonged to the darkness around him. Suddenly, without warning, the man began walking toward them. Panic set in. The boys bolted, their laughter quickly turning into terrified screams. Was it just an odd encounter with someone who didn't mind the cold? Or was there something much darker lurking beneath the surface? 4 years ago, a Reddit user known as Swedish Blueberries posted a seemingly ordinary photo from a night out in the park with a friend. The image, originally shared on Instagram, went unnoticed at first, until a friend left a comment that sent chills down everyone's spine. Upon closer inspection, they noticed something odd in the background, a mysterious figure. Initially, they thought it might be a ghost, but the user quickly admitted that given their alcohol-fueled state at the time, it could just as easily have been a person. What makes the photo even more unsettling is the fact that the figure appears to be completely unclothed, leaving everyone to wonder, was it a real person or something far more supernatural? A Reddit user shared an intriguing photo with an eerie twist. His friend, a former US Army soldier, had married a Korean woman while stationed in South Korea back in 2002. Fast forward a decade, and the couple decided to revisit the Camp Casey area. During their trip, they snapped some photos, but one shot stood out for an unusual reason. In the upper left corner of the picture, a mysterious figure resembling a soldier could be seen standing. The couple was baffled, as no one was around when the photo was taken. Was it a glitch? Or could it be something far more chilling? The ghost of a fallen soldier, still wandering the grounds. A young woman was out for her usual late-night walk in the woods with her dog, enjoying the calm of the dark, quiet path. As she strolled along, she casually shifted the camera to the side. Then, out of nowhere, it happened.
Come on.
Standing next to a tree, barely visible in the darkness, was a shadowy figure in dark clothing, just watching her. Her dog seemed to sense something off long before she did, abruptly halting and staring intently in the figure's direction, its hackles raised. Unaware of the danger, she urged Bruce forward, but when the camera swung back, the figure had vanished without a trace. They continued their walk, but after seeing the footage, it's hard to imagine her venturing back into those woods anytime soon. A family was out hiking in the wilds of Australia, excited to wrap up their adventure and head home. But as they approached their car, one of them reached for the door handle until something caught their eye just in time. Tucked right inside the handle, casually chilling, was a massive furry huntsman spider. Thankfully, they spotted it before making contact. While a huntsman bite isn't usually life-threatening, it's far from pleasant, bringing on intense pain and swelling. Moral of the story? In Australia, always double-check your door handles. 2 American tourists were soaring over the stunning landscape of Mendoza, Argentina, when disaster suddenly struck mid-air. Realizing something was off, the pilot immediately made a bold decision to attempt an emergency landing. But things quickly took a turn for the worse. The helicopter flipped sideways in a heart-stopping crash. Miraculously, everyone walked away without serious injury, no hospital visits required. But the terrifying experience? It left a mark that won't be forgotten anytime soon. Reddit user shared a wild story about being outside near their house with their dad when they noticed something strange happening in the sky. Freaked out, They were hoping for answers before lightning struck their house.
Wow. Can you explain that again since I'm filming? This lightning's been going on for like a half an hour, just like it is, just one after another, after another, after another. I don't hear any thunder or anything. It's just a lot of lightning going on. Do you guys happen to know what this could be? Cause we sure as heck don't. And
Could this just be a regular thunderstorm? Or is something bigger about to unfold? Does anyone have an explanation? A man was walking home alone. Everything seemed perfectly normal until something unsettling happened. For nearly 20 minutes, this eerie laughter echoed through the trees, growing louder and more sinister, as if something or someone was drawing nearer. It started about 200 feet away, then 300. The man was left frozen, unsure of what he was hearing. Was it just some wild animal? Or could it have been something far more terrifying? Something cryptid? No one knows for sure. A doorbell camera at a remote forest cabin has captured something truly eerie. Take a look at this footage. In the clip, you can just make out a shadowy figure riding a horse. At least that's what it looks like. Some say it's a supernatural apparition, while others argue it's just a camera glitch. But here's where things get even stranger. Another animal appears, completely different from the first shadowy figure, right beside it. So, what exactly did this camera catch? While out on a birthday hunting trip, the celebration took a chilling turn. Deep in the forest, they spotted something that still haunts their memories. A dark figure standing eerily still across the road, silently watching them. It didn't move, didn't flinch, just stared. After scouring the internet for answers, they found nothing that matched what they saw. No legends, no local lore, nothing. So, they gave it a name themselves, the ghoul. What or who they encountered that day remains a terrifying mystery. While scouting a wooded area for a potential hunting spot, Reddit user CakeTheLegend69 was snapping a few photos, just a casual exploration. But when she reviewed the images later, something chilling stood out. A shadowy figure lingering in the distance. What made it even more unsettling? Every member of her group was behind her at the time, exploring different parts of the forest. So, whoever or whatever that was, it wasn't one of them. Things got even creepier when they learned the forest once held an old logging town that mysteriously vanished without a trace. All that remains are 13 forgotten graves with weathered headstones, slowly being swallowed by time. The eerie photo left people wondering, had she captured something paranormal on camera? Or is there a more rational explanation lurking beneath the mystery? A Reddit user recently shared a spine-tingling trail cam photo that's sending chills down the internet's spine. The image shows two eerie, human-like figures seemingly hovering above the forest floor, an unsettling sight that locals claim are the infamous tree people, ghostly apparitions said to haunt the woods. Known for its long history of paranormal activity, the area's haunted reputation only deepens the mystery behind this haunting capture. Reddit user Sagfo captured a spine-tingling moment during a late-night walk through the forest just after 2 a.m. In the eerie clip he shared, unsettling screams echo through the trees. Listen closely. Are they the cries of a wild animal, a desperate person, or something even more terrifying? Whatever it was, it sent Sago running for his life, and he's sworn off nighttime forest walks for good. A TikToker had snapped a breathtaking photo during their trip to Boone, North Carolina, nestled deep in the Appalachian Mountains. At first glance, it was just a stunning landscape, nothing out of the ordinary. But when they zoomed in, way off in the distance, they noticed something eerie. A lone figure standing still. It looked like a woman, but not quite human. Some say it was a skinwalker. Others are sure it was a ghost. One thing's for sure, the friend swears they were completely alone out there. Whatever it was, that one strange figure turned a peaceful mountain view into something straight out of a horror story. A woman was walking near a quiet, scenic lake, her dogs happily playing by her side. She casually filmed a short video of them enjoying the peaceful nature. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary. But when she later reviewed the footage, something chilling caught her eye. In the distance between the trees, a large, dark figure appeared to be moving. It wasn't there before. So what exactly did she capture that day? A person, an animal, or something far more unsettling? It was just past 3 a.m. when Reddit user Leonard Blay was abruptly woken by unsettling noises echoing outside his remote cabin. At first, he couldn't quite place it. Some claimed it sounded like a fox, while others swore it resembled a woman screaming. Maybe it was just a fox, but alone, deep in the woods, and in the dead silence of night. That sound took on a whole new level of terrifying. While hiking a jungle trail, a woman captured a fun little video for Instagram, completely unaware of the danger lurking just behind her. As she smiled at the camera, a snake silently slithered out from the bushes. Luckily, she stayed calm without even realizing it, which kept the snake from feeling threatened. Things could have taken a terrifying turn, but she got incredibly lucky. From the looks of it, she didn't notice a thing, only discovering the close call later when she rewatched the footage. Talk about a wild surprise. Tom was casually using the Randonautica app when it led him to a half-built, abandoned construction site. Intrigued but uneasy, he decided to step inside, curious about why the app had brought him there. The place was silent, empty, and unsettling.
This.
So guys, at this point, I was not sure why it brought me here. I was just exploring the whole site. I was like, okay, whatever, this app's probably rigged, I don't know. Let's see what happens, and then here's where it goes totally wrong.
Right. What if it's brought me here just like a brick? It's brought me here just like a brick, I don't even know.
Nothing felt right. He turned to leave until he heard something. A strange noise, muffled, close, and not natural.
Yo, what the? Yo, what the fuck?
Out of nowhere, a man in a dark hoodie charged at him, swinging a sledgehammer like a maniac. Panic exploded through Tom. He bolted, heart pounding, legs pumping, barely dodging the crazed man's attack. Once he finally made it to safety, Tom hit record on his phone again, his hands still shaking. A peaceful walk turned into a heart-pounding close call for a few locals in Qianwei County, Sichuan, China. As they strolled along the hillside, something didn't feel right. Then they saw it. The ground began to shift. Acting on instinct, they ran for their lives, and just seconds later, a cascade of rocks thundered down behind them. Miraculously, no one was hurt. Days of heavy rain had likely set the stage for the landslide, and what could have been a tragic disaster turned into an incredible stroke of luck. A man was deep in the forest when he stumbled upon an old, abandoned house. As he filmed the eerie surroundings, a chilling sound broke the silence, which sounded like a baby crying. Curious but on edge, he cautiously followed the sound. But with every step he took, the crying seemed to move farther away, almost like it was leading him somewhere. The deeper he went, the heavier the atmosphere became. Was this a trap? A prank? Or something far more disturbing? Some believe it might have been a lyrebird, an Australian bird known for perfectly mimicking almost any sound, even human voices. After quickly checking the house and finding nothing, a wave of unease washed over him. He turned back, leaving the place behind, haunted by the thought, what if it were a real baby? Or worse, something pretending to be one. So what do you think? A lost child? A lyrebird? Or something supernatural? Late one night, a security camera outside a remote forest home captured something truly unsettling. The footage, later posted on Reddit by the shocked homeowner, shows a mysterious figure in a flowing white dress slowly moving past a fence. But here's the eerie part. She doesn't walk. She glides. Moments later, she vanishes into the darkness. Viewers were quick to draw chilling comparisons to the ghostly legend of La Llorona. And if that's who it was, you'd better steer clear of any nearby water. Whether it was a person, spirit, or something far stranger, one thing's for sure, it didn't belong there. While out on a hike, this person suddenly froze, face to face with something straight out of a nightmare. Towering before them stood a massive maned wolf, its unnaturally long legs and piercing stare locking them in place. For a moment, it didn't even seem real. Some say it looked more like a creature from legend, eerily similar to the infamous Chupacabra. These beasts are lightning fast, capable of hitting 30 mammothwires and leaping over 6 feet in a single bound. Rarely seen, never forgotten, this was an encounter that will haunt them for the rest of their life. A motion-activated trail camera was set up in Medoc Mountain State Park near Littleton, North Carolina, an area already steeped in Bigfoot legends, complete with its local museum. For days, the camera recorded the usual wildlife, but on August 8, 2024, things took a bizarre turn. Twice, a large humanoid figure wandered past the lens. The image was slightly blurred by dew, but the silhouette didn't match any known animal. Some say it was just a hunter passing through, but others are convinced the legendary creature finally made an appearance. Bigfoot? Maybe. One thing's for sure, no one has the answer. While exploring the infamous Missouri State Penitentiary's death row with his dad, a Reddit user had an encounter that would leave anyone questioning reality. As they ventured deeper into the eerie halls, the user snapped some photos of his dad. At first, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but in the first image, a faint, shadowy figure appears near the top of the stairs, a detail that might go unnoticed at first glance. However, the second photo sends chills down the spine. A woman who wasn't there before is seen walking behind the dad. The third photo reveals her again, standing right behind him as if she's been following them the whole time. What's even more unnerving is that the dad later confessed his legs gave out when they reached the end of the walk, an odd coincidence that seems to be captured in the final photo. So, who or what was with them that day? While responding to a comment from a follower, a TikToker casually filmed herself, completely unaware of the chilling scene unfolding behind her.
Yo nunca he sentido que me parezco a Dua Lipa, pero desde que me corté el cabello siento que me parezco muchísimo menos a Dua Lipa. Y es que muchísima gente me dice que me parezco a la Dua Lipa del 2018 más o menos, que tiene como el cabello cortito. Y me puse a ver fotos y nada que ver.
Through the cabin window, a lifeless figure with cold, dead eyes stood eerily still, watching her every move. She continued chatting and filming, oblivious to the terrifying presence in the background. It wasn't until later, when she reviewed the footage, that she realized the horrifying truth. What did she do when she discovered it? That's a story you won't want to miss. While wandering through Fairview Lawn Cemetery, the final resting place of over 100 Titanic victims, this man snapped a few casual photos. But one of them would prove to be anything but ordinary. Upon closer inspection, a ghostly face appears in the frame, something he hadn't noticed at the time. It wasn't until later, while reviewing the shots, that he realized what he had unknowingly captured. Was it simply an eerie play of light and shadow, or was there something far more mysterious at work? While reviewing his trail camera footage, Reddit user Moloch996 stumbled upon something chilling. At 5 a.m., on a summer morning in early July, a barefoot woman was seen wandering alone in the dark, aimlessly moving through a remote area with no trails in sight. She stayed in the camera's view for nearly 30 minutes, visibly distressed, seemingly lost, fleeing, or in danger. Theories began to flood in. Was she struggling with a mental health crisis, under the influence, or was something far more sinister at play, like human trafficking? No concrete evidence pointed to foul play, but one thing was clear. There was an unsettling, eerie feeling about this sighting that left more questions than answers. One Reddit user had an unsettling experience when they woke up in their Airbnb one morning to find a massive snowman standing just outside. The catch? There had been less than a foot of snowfall recently, yet the snowman towered at least 5 feet tall. Even more bizarre, there were no footprints, no disturbances in the snow, nothing to suggest anyone had even been out there. One commenter tossed out the idea that fresh snowfall could have covered any tracks, but that still didn't explain how this eerie, oversized snowman appeared out of nowhere. So, what's the real story behind this creepy mystery? While reviewing footage from his security camera, a property owner spotted something that sent chills down his spine. At first, it looked like a person, but the longer he stared, the more off-putting it seemed. The figure had an eerie, unnatural presence that made him question what he was seeing. Desperate for answers, he shared the footage with a paranormal community, and the reactions were mixed. Some insisted it was a ghost, pointing to the figure's blurred features and unsettling movements, while others argued it was just a person, distorted by poor lighting. But even if it were a person, it still didn't add up. His property was notoriously difficult to access. What could it be? While riding his ATV through the woods, a young boy set up a camera to capture the adventure. Later, as he reviewed the footage, he noticed something strange lurking in the background near the tree line. A tall, dark figure moved silently through the woods, walking on 2 legs with long, steady strides. When the video was shared online, viewers couldn't help but jump to conclusions, with many insisting it was Bigfoot. The figure's impressive height, fluid movement, and the way it seemed to melt into the shadows sparked intense debate. Some were convinced it was the legendary creature, while others argued it was too perfect, leading many to wonder, could it have been staged, or was it just a person in the woods? A Reddit user came across a chilling photo, but it was what appeared near the doorway that sent shivers down their spine. In the background, a mysterious figure loomed with its presence impossible to explain. Some skeptics dismissed it as an oddly shaped person or the hind leg of an animal, but others saw something far more unsettling. Was it a shadowy figure lurking in the darkness? Or perhaps the disturbing outline of a body being dragged? Who or what was truly captured in this eerie shot? Late one night, Jalbandi recorded something truly bizarre deep in the forest near his village. In the distance, a pale, ghostly figure stood stark against the darkness of the trees. As he cautiously approached, the figure suddenly collapsed into a glowing orb and vanished behind a tree. You can hear the fear in Jal's voice, and the chilling silence of the forest only adds to the unsettling vibe. To this day, no one knows what he witnessed that night, but whatever it was, it felt terrifyingly real. A backpacker was enjoying a quiet hike through the forest when something caught their eye. At first, it looked like just another tree, but as they shifted angles, strange, almost human-like shapes began to emerge from its bark. It probably wasn't anything paranormal, but the tree gave off a deeply unsettling vibe. Spooked, the backpacker couldn't shake the feeling and ended up posting the eerie footage online. A man was enjoying a peaceful hunting trip in Dillon State Park when something strange shattered the quiet of the woods.
Thing bad about tree burrows, if they're still in the tree, usually they're ones that are worth cut. I hope I got that on audio, because I don't know what the hell that is.
As a seasoned hunter and frequent visitor to the park, he knew the calls of every animal in the area. But this sound, it was unlike anything he'd ever encountered. Curious and a little unsettled, he posted the footage online, asking the internet for help. Was it just some rare animal? Or had he stumbled upon something far more mysterious? While out on a peaceful hike, one Reddit user stumbled upon something straight out of a nightmare. A bomb, just sitting there in the middle of the forest. Its modern design hinted it could be tied to recent military drills, illegal dumping, or even a leftover from a long-past conflict. Whatever the origin, it was clear. This wasn't some rusty relic. Thankfully, the hiker kept their cool, didn't trigger anything, and reported the chilling find before making it out safely. The owner of this trail cam had no idea what he was about to capture. On a remote, unnamed path, his camera recorded something deeply unsettling. Confused and creeped out, he uploaded the footage online, hoping someone could explain what he'd seen, but no one could. The eerie figure remains unidentified and terrifying. A Reddit user recently shared a chilling photo taken by an older family member during one of her regular hikes through a remote mountain trail. The path winds past a cave believed to date back to the Stone Age, far from civilization, with no buildings or people for miles. After her hike, she posted a few photos on Facebook, but one image quickly grabbed everyone's attention. In the distance, a mysterious figure appears. The strange part? She swears she was completely alone the entire time. She's not the kind of person to stage photos, and nothing seemed out of the ordinary during her walk. To this day, the eerie figure in the photo remains a mystery. A group of friends went camping near Mount Rana, nestled in the scenic beauty of northern Norway. They had a perfect view of the Sami Lavu and spent the trip soaking in nature, snapping a few photos to remember the experience. Everything seemed normal until the next day. While casually scrolling through their pictures, one of them paused. There, right next to the tent, was something they didn't remember seeing: a small girl. None of them had seen a child anywhere near their site. Creeped out but curious, they brightened the photo, and sure enough, the figure became even clearer. They weren't into ghost stories or the paranormal, but this felt different. Just to be certain, they brought the photo to the National Library, where experts confirmed it hadn't been altered in any way. Still shaken, one of them decided to post the eerie image on Reddit. The internet, naturally, went wild. A Reddit user stumbled upon something straight out of a nightmare: a tree completely covered in bizarre, unnatural-looking skulls. The eerie sight gave off an unmistakable sense of dread, as though the air itself didn't belong to the world of the living. Driven by a mix of fear and curiosity, the user returned the next day to investigate further. But the tree and every single skull was gone. Vanished. No tracks, no broken branches, not even disturbed soil. It was as if the entire haunting scene had never existed at all. A couple who had been living peacefully off the grid started noticing something strange on their property one day. From a distance, it looked like a man wrapped in a blue tarp, but something about it was wrong. The way it moved was eerie, unnatural, almost inhuman. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. When they returned to the spot later, it was like nothing had ever been there. No footprints, no snapped branches, no sign of disturbance, just the eerie footage they managed to capture. So who or what was that? And how did it end up in such an isolated place? While out walking their dog near a nuclear power plant, a Reddit user stumbled upon some bizarre, unidentifiable objects, and naturally, they shared the strange discovery online. To their surprise, other users chimed in with their own photos of the same mysterious items from the same area. The weirdest part? No one knows what they are or where they came from. After a long day of fishing, a group of locals decided to explore a nearby forest as night fell. Armed with flashlights, they made their way through the dense woods until something in the shadows caught their eye. Lurking just beyond the trees was a bizarre creature unlike anything they'd ever seen. It moved eerily, sometimes upright on two legs, other times crawling on all fours. The strangest part? It almost looked human, like someone wearing a mask and a full-body suit. Was this some kind of elaborate hoax? A creepy costume stunt? Or did they actually stumble across something unexplainable? Either way, the question remains: what's more terrifying, running into an unknown creature, or discovering a person dressed like that alone in the middle of the forest? A man is caught on camera standing beside a bizarre otherworldly creature, and what's even wilder is that he appears to be talking to it. The clip quickly went viral, with many viewers convinced the creature is actually a jinn. One commenter even claimed to have translated the man's words. "Look, I tried to high-five him, and he just left me hanging. So what's really going on here? Paranormal encounter or just a strange prank?" While out on a hike, someone stumbled across something seriously disturbing, and naturally, they snapped a photo and posted it online. The image quickly caught fire, with people in the comments debating whether the creature was even an animal at all. Some wondered if it had always looked that creepy, or if it had lost its fur after dying. The original poster tossed out a bold theory. Could it be a real-life Chupacabra? Honestly, the vibes are definitely off. It's eerie enough to spark your imagination, but just maybe, it's a sick animal, a strange case of decomposition, or even just a really well-placed prop. A hiker recently stumbled upon a bizarre creature in the wild and posted a video on Reddit, hoping someone could figure out what it was. At first, it looked like a tiny bird just standing there, not doing much. But as the camera crept closer, the bird suddenly puffed up and transformed into something way bigger and honestly, kind of intimidating. Turns out it was an American bittern, a type of heron with next-level camouflage skills. When it feels threatened, it flares out its feathers and stretches its neck sky-high, mimicking the look of tall grass to scare off predators and blend right into its surroundings. Nature's got some serious tricks up its sleeve. Last month, Reddit user IslandShort5920 made a chilling discovery when reviewing footage from their trail camera. The device captured an eerie nighttime image showing two unexplained figures standing on a remote dirt road. Internet detectives quickly began analyzing the photo, with many suggesting the figure on the left resembled a deer, bizarrely balanced on its hind legs. But the real puzzle was the unidentified figure on the right. What exactly was it? According to the Reddit poster, no video footage exists of the encounter, only the single haunting still image. They emphasized the camera was positioned in an isolated area with no houses or artificial lighting nearby, deepening the mystery. Despite numerous theories, the true identity of these strange figures remains unexplained, leaving viewers to wonder what exactly was wandering that lonely dirt road after dark. A friend was photographing a forest fire when they captured something unexplainable in one of their shots. The long exposure and motion blur common at night transformed what might have been ordinary into something eerily unnatural. They've reluctantly suggested it might have been someone running past, despite their certainty that no one else was present. Some who've seen the photo are convinced it's evidence of a supernatural presence, perhaps a ghost or some unknown entity attracted to the fire's energy. Others maintain it's simply camera artifacts creating a pareidolia effect. The authenticity of the image remains a compelling mystery. Was it truly an otherworldly encounter captured by chance, or just a fascinating photographic illusion? While hiking solo in the early morning on Thomas Mountain, California, a man was struck by an eerie silence that gave him an unsettling, almost haunted feeling. Before heading back to camp, he snapped a few photos of the quiet landscape. Later, while reviewing the pictures, he noticed something bizarre peeking out from behind a branch. In one of the shots was a strange head-like figure. Oddly enough, the figure didn't appear in any of the other photos. Intrigued and unnerved, he now plans to return to the exact spot to find out what he might have captured that day. What do you think he saw? During a hunting trip in the dense woods of Honobia, Oklahoma, a man stumbled upon something strange. As he peered through the trees, he noticed a tall, shadowy figure lurking just beyond the tree line. Its size and posture were unlike anything he had seen before. At first glance, it resembled a chimpanzee, but that was impossible. Chimpanzees aren't native to Oklahoma. The creature's movement seemed too fluid, too unnatural for any known animal, leading the hunter to wonder, could it be a Sasquatch? But the figure remained just out of clear view, never fully revealing itself. leaving the man and anyone who hears the story questioning what, exactly, he had seen in those mysterious woods. In the dead of night, a man living deep in the woods of South Jersey was suddenly jolted awake at 1 a.m. by a sound unlike anything he'd ever heard before. Describing it as a demonic dinosaur, he was left shaken to the core. Having spent over 30 years in the area, he's familiar with the usual nighttime creatures: deer, foxes, owls, raccoons, and the occasional geese. But this unsettling noise didn't fit any of them. Was it a distressed animal, an unknown predator lurking in the shadows, or something even more sinister, like a ghost, or a very disturbed person? To this day, the man has never heard the sound again and remains baffled by what it could have been. While out on a peaceful walk, this person snapped a photo of something unusual in the distance, a mysterious figure, partially hidden by tall grass. As soon as they locked eyes with whatever it was, it seemed to crouch down, making the moment all the more eerie. Initial guesses? It looked small, maybe about 12 inches tall. Theories quickly popped up, ranging from a person in a black hoodie squatting to a curious animal lurking in the grass. Skeptics quickly dismissed it as a hoax or a simple misidentification, but others couldn't help but wonder, could this be something more? A cryptid, perhaps? What exactly was captured in this chilling photo? While scrolling through their old photos, this Reddit user stumbled upon something downright chilling, what seemed to be a creepy, possibly severed foot in their backyard. The internet has been buzzing with wild theories, ranging from the bizarre idea of it being a leprechaun or a crackhead to the possibility of it being a statue. But despite all the speculation, the true origin of this eerie find remains a mystery. After a long hike, a Reddit user was driving home when he captured a jaw-dropping lightning storm on camera. His focus was on the road, so he didn't realize his dashcam had accidentally recorded something far stranger. High above, a shadowy shape appears in the sky. Some say it looks like a night owl. Others swear it resembles a bat. But to him, it was something completely out of place. Could it be a bird caught mid-flight, a smudge on the window, or something far more mysterious? While camping in the remote wilderness of Cake, Alaska, a man caught sight of a shadowy figure lurking behind the trees near a creek.
Oh my god. Oh my god. There it is. It's right behind that tree. God, I'm tripping out, I'm shaking.
Panic set in instantly. His hands trembled so badly that the footage he captured was shaky and chaotic. He later had to stabilize the video to make sense of what he saw. The man swears it was Bigfoot, and honestly, judging by his terrified reaction, he truly believes it. But without solid proof, it remains yet another chilling mystery lost to the woods. A few years back, a family took a trip to Jeffrey's Cliffs in Hawkville, Kentucky. It was supposed to be a peaceful day of hiking and snapping photos of the kids, but one picture revealed something far from ordinary. In the background, a blurry, shadowy figure loomed just behind the group. The unsettling part? According to the mom, no one else was anywhere near them when the photo was taken. At first glance, this 2007 photo snapped near Nashville, Tennessee, looks like a simple, heartwarming moment of two young friends strolling hand in hand along a peaceful, tree-lined path. But take a closer look, and things turn chilling. Just ahead of the children, a misty, childlike figure seems to materialize out of thin air. Some even claim there's another shadowy presence lurking further down the lane. The land once held a plantation before the Civil War, leading many to ask, are these ghostly figures remnants of a haunting past that refuses to be forgotten? 52-year-old Ricardo Dianella from the quiet municipality of Timbe, Brazil, was ready for the thrill of a lifetime hang gliding through the open skies. Unlike paragliding, hang gliding uses a fixed-wing glider, offering an intense, high-flying adrenaline rush. As he launched into the air, an onlooker began filming, expecting to capture a breathtaking moment. Instead, they witnessed a nightmare.
Meu Deus, minha Nossa Senhora! Ai, alguém segura meu cachorro!
Mid-flight, Ricardo's glider suddenly gave out. In a horrifying instant, he plummeted from the sky. The tragedy left witnesses in shock, and even now, no clear explanation has been found for the catastrophic failure. What was supposed to be an unforgettable adventure turned into a devastating loss, one that haunts all who saw it. Reddit user Evan4506 paid a quick visit to the Eerie Oxsable Cemetery, an already creepy spot made even more unsettling by a local legend. According to the rumor, if you stop your car on the nearby bridge, it might not start again. Curious but skeptical, they pulled over, and that's when things got weird. While parked, they heard a strange, high-pitched ringing that sent chills down their spine.
You sure it's talking alright?
At first, they brushed it off until the sound returned, and this time, they managed to capture the tail end of it on video. Reviewing the footage later, they noticed something even stranger, a faint whisper, just before a brief white flash appeared on camera. There was no one else around. The cemetery is tiny, tucked away, and empty at the time. So what or who was behind the voices and the flash? Could the legend be more than just a spooky tale? While camping deep in the forest, this man stumbled upon something no one ever wants to find. An eerie mask half buried in the mud, its disturbing design sending chills down his spine. There were no signs of who it belonged to, but something about it felt wrong. Was it just a forgotten prop, or had it played a role in something far more sinister? A curious family ventured out to explore a cemetery rumored to be haunted. As they neared the entrance, they stumbled upon a lifeless animal lying beneath a tree, setting a chilling tone for what was to come.
Miren, un animal muerto también, de los guarichos que se hacen acá en esta zona. ¿Lo puedes levantar, por favor? Sí. ¿Ve? Este animal lo sacamos ahora estamos viéndolo recién. Si ustedes aprecian.
Undeterred, they pressed on, filming the weathered tombstones, until something caught their eye.
Mira, mira, mira. No, esto de no creer, esto de no creer, vamos. Corran. Ahí se ve, la verdad que se mueve, está en movimiento, la verdad que Jesús de Nazaret, vamos, corran,
A small, ghostly figure appeared to drift between the graves, moving slowly and eerily. Panic kicked in, and they backed away in fear. But just as they were about to leave, curiosity got the better of them. They turned back for one final look. Had they just seen a ghost? A group of men from the Middle East had a spine-chilling encounter with a mysterious, terrifying figure.
يا الله عم افتحوا بس أنا أوريهم بس غمق البير.
Ya Allah.
The footage cuts off just before the climax, leaving us hanging. But since they lived to upload it, we know they made it out alive. Some viewers are convinced they came face to face with a real djinn. Others think it was all just a carefully staged stunt for clout. But here's what has people talking: the claws. Could this creature be something from the animal kingdom? Take a look and tell me. Do you recognize these claws? Two girls were hiking through the misty mountains of the Philippines with a large group when they stopped to snap a few pictures. Caught up in the moment, they didn't realize the group had already moved ahead, leaving them suddenly and eerily alone in the dense jungle. Panicking, they rushed to catch up, one of them filming as they ran. But later, while reviewing the footage, they noticed something chilling.
Naliligaw. Wala ni mga kasama namin. Wala ni mga kasama namin.
Something they hadn't seen at the time. A shadowy figure moved silently behind them and vanished in the blink of an eye. The girl who shared the video insists no one else was around. So, what did the camera capture? A harmless animal? Or something far more unsettling? A group of mountain climbers was savoring the thrill of their ascent when the unthinkable happened. Without warning, the ground beneath them lurched. In an instant, the mountainside gave way, sending rocks and earth cascading below as they clung desperately to whatever they could grasp. 1 second, they were climbing. The next, they were hanging on for dear life, staring into the jaws of disaster. Miraculously, no one was fatally injured, but the sheer panic of that moment burned itself into their memories. None of them ever set foot on that mountain again. She was casually filming a video for social media, just another day, another post. But what her camera captured in the background was anything but ordinary.
Who are you? Man, I be that pretty motherfucker, man. ASAP? Yes, sir.
A man, eerily still, was lurking, slowly creeping closer with a disturbing calm. The moment he noticed the camera, he froze, then turned and vanished. It wasn't until she replayed the footage that the true horror hit her. Had he been watching her all along, waiting? If she hadn't been recording, what could have happened? Chelsea and her friend James decided to explore an old abandoned tunnel from the 1920s, a place shrouded in ghostly rumors. Later, while reviewing the footage, they made a shocking discovery. The gate appeared to shut on its own, and just moments later, a dark, shadowy figure casually glided past the camera.
Is that gate closed? The freaking gate's closed, James! Look! Yes!
No way, no freaking way.
Freaking crazy!
There's another train coming by. Wait, right when the train comes by, this thing closes by itself? Wait a minute.
What the?
Wait a freaking minute.
That is weird.
Come up anyways, like.
The video set the internet abuzz, with many hailing it as indisputable evidence of a paranormal presence. However, not everyone was convinced. Some speculated that the eerie silhouette might simply have been Chelsea's finger accidentally making an appearance in the frame. What's your take? Genuine ghostly activity, or just a trick of the camera? Chris McCandless was born into privilege, but he never felt at home in the world of wealth and expectations. So he made a radical choice. He gave away his entire $24,000 inheritance, abandoned his family name, and disappeared into the wild, chasing a life unshackled by society. With no maps, no guide, and only what he could carry, Chris roamed across America, braving rugged landscapes and unforgiving wilderness. A flood destroyed what little digital resources he had, but still, he pressed on. His final journey led him deep into the Alaskan backcountry, along the treacherous Stampede Trail, a place feared even by seasoned survivalists. Running low on supplies, he found shelter in an old, abandoned bus. There, he survived for weeks, living off the land and the remains of a moose carcass that spoiled more with each passing day. By day 94, starvation and the toxic effects of wild potato seeds had ravaged his body. Too weak to move, Chris was trapped. When hunters eventually stumbled upon the bus, they found his emaciated body, just 67 pounds, and a heartbreaking farewell note: "I have had a happy life and thank the Lord. Goodbye, and may God bless all." Was Chris a brave soul chasing the purest form of freedom? Or was he a dreamer, blinded by idealism, unprepared for the brutal reality of nature? Two friends were visiting their father's graves at a quiet cemetery when, for no particular reason, one of them pulled out their phone to start recording. They'd never taken photos or videos at a cemetery before, but something about the moment felt different. Almost like something was watching. Just for fun, they decided to try and capture any signs of paranormal activity. Later that night, they played back the footage, and what they heard chilled them to the bone.
Oh, for sure,
It's
yeah.
like 30 grand or something.
Here at the cemetery, yeah. I'm just taping this. Yeah, I don't know. Just here at the cemetery, but it's raining, pissing rain out. We'll try to find your dad's too, but we don't have to, like, if it's really hard to find. Or
I think it's like
I
at the
want
top.
to-
I don't know. We can drive as much, but if I
Okay.
can't, then it's okay. Because I feel, I don't know what to do. So it's okay.
Or we'll come sometime when it's not too rainy, and then we'll just get some flowers.
Yeah.
And then you just come and just say hi. My dad used to come and just knock like that.
Oh yeah.
When my dad first brought him here to my brothers.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be there soon.
Yeah.
Well, not soon, but one day.
Yeah. What are you saying? Make it more depressing.
A voice, clear as day, said he wanted to be buried, not cremated. He liked the outdoors. He wanted to be in the earth. The strange part? Neither of them remembered hearing anything like that while they were there. It wasn't their voices, and no one else had been around. So who or what said it? And how do you explain a voice that only shows up after you've left the cemetery? While hiking near a breathtaking waterfall in Usadee National Park, a backpacker's peaceful adventure took a terrifying turn when he suddenly slipped and tumbled toward the edge. In a heart-pounding moment, he managed to grab onto a boulder, clinging for his life above the rushing waters below. Rescuers were immediately called, and just as the cold began to take its toll, a helicopter swooped in, plucking him from danger in the nick of time. Officials later revealed that any delay could have triggered hypothermia, and without that boulder to hang on to, the outcome might have been tragically different. While exploring Hankey Church Cemetery in Plum, PA, late one night, a Reddit user snapped a photo that still sends chills down spines. In the image, a mysterious half-body apparition appears. Some say it looks like a priest, while others are convinced it's the ghost of a war veteran. Local legend only deepens the mystery. Years ago, a priest was allegedly lynched on the very grounds for committing adultery, just before the church burned down under unexplained circumstances. Adding to the eeriness, the cemetery is also the final resting place for numerous war veterans. Despite several attempts to recreate or debunk the image, the original poster stands firm, calling it one of the most convincing paranormal photos they've ever encountered. While trekking deep into the forest, this backpacker made a chilling discovery, something that didn't belong in nature. A row of deer ankles, severed and arranged with eerie precision, lay before him like a grim display. This wasn't the random work of scavengers. No, someone or something had placed them there on purpose. But why? Was it part of a ritual, a sinister warning, or something even darker lurking in the shadows? The deeper you think about it, the more disturbing it becomes. While hiking along a quiet trail in the heart of Essex Village, a man captured what he thought was just peaceful nature footage. But later, as he reviewed the video, something chilling jumped out at him. For just a split second, a ghostly smoke-like figure appeared, its head and hands eerily visible, before vanishing into thin air. Some believe it might be the legendary village spirit, a mysterious entity tied to local folklore. But is it truly paranormal, or is there a more rational explanation hiding in plain sight? He couldn't believe his eyes. Deep in the forest, he stumbled upon something truly bizarre. A pile of shoes scattered across the forest floor. But these weren't just old, discarded sneakers. Each one had been carefully sliced open at the front, yet oddly, they were still in good condition. Why were they here? Who left them? Perhaps most chilling of all, who did they belong to? Some began to speculate that the shoes might be connected to something far more sinister, maybe even victims. Suddenly, this strange discovery took a haunting turn. A grieving family was heartbroken to discover that items they lovingly placed on their daughter's grave kept vanishing. Desperate for answers, they installed a motion-activated camera near the site, hoping to catch the culprit. What they found the next morning, though, left them speechless. Among the captured images was one that chilled them to the bone. A little girl wandering alone through the cemetery in the dead of night. The family didn't recognize her. She wasn't connected to them in any way. Puzzled, they showed the photo to the cemetery staff. What happened next made their hearts skip a beat. The workers led them to another nearby grave belonging to a child named Faviola Nova Rodriguez. When they contacted Faviola's mother and showed her the eerie photo, she broke down in tears. She instantly identified the girl in the picture. It was Faviola. But how could that be? Was the ghost of Faviola watching over the cemetery, or trying to send a message? A Reddit user recently stirred up a storm by sharing a photograph supposedly taken in 1978 that might just show Ontario's legendary Bigfoot, famously known as Old Yellow Top. Named for its distinctive yellowish mane, this mysterious creature has been a part of Canadian folklore since the early 1900s. The resurfaced image reignited the debate among cryptid enthusiasts. Is this the smoking gun that proves Old Yellow Top is real? Just another clever hoax? Or worse, a classic case of pareidolia tricking our eyes again? While spending a quiet evening at his farm in the southern US, a man suddenly heard a chilling noise echoing from the forest behind his property. Curious and a little uneasy, he grabbed his recorder, hoping it was just a fox or some other wild animal. But what he captured was far more disturbing. The scream was long, piercing, and hauntingly human, eerily similar to a woman's voice. It didn't sound like any typical wildlife cry. It was too loud, too drawn out, too intentional. While exploring a remote wilderness, a Reddit user stumbled upon something straight out of a horror movie. An old, rusted cage hidden deep inside a hole in the ground. Nearby lay a worn-out backpack, oddly out of place and far from any marked trail. The cage looked ancient, eaten away by years of rust and neglect. But the backpack? That seemed recent, as if someone had been there not too long ago. What made things even stranger was the location, just a stone's throw from a set of train tracks. Could the backpack have fallen off a train? Maybe, but that didn't explain the cage buried in the ground. Then things took a darker turn. One commenter brought up a disturbing comparison to a film about child trafficking, where victims were kept in underground concrete boxes. The resemblance was chilling. They urged the original poster to contact the authorities just in case. But instead of following through, the user brushed it off and walked away. So what was going on out there? Was it just an eerie coincidence? Or something far more sinister hiding in plain sight? One evening, a Reddit user shared a blurry, unsettling video they captured deep in the woods. In the grainy footage, a tall, slender figure can be seen darting between the trees with eerie, almost inhuman speed. While some viewers brushed it off as a trick of the light or a passing shadow, the original poster wasn't convinced. They pointed out that the distant lights, nearly 400 meters away, were too far to create such a defined silhouette. Judging by the height of the surrounding trees, the figure appeared to be nearly 3 meters tall. Whatever it was, the low-quality video only adds to the mystery, leaving viewers with more questions than answers. A man was staying at a secluded rental cabin deep in the forest when a strange sound jolted him awake in the middle of the night. Curious but uneasy, he stepped outside to investigate, only to spot something off. Out in the darkness, a figure was moving. Its posture was unnatural, almost distorted, yet deliberate, like it wasn't lost or scared, but on a mission. Why would anyone be out here at this hour, in the middle of nowhere, moving like that? Instinctively, he pulled out his phone and started recording. The footage captured the eerie silhouette gliding between the trees before it vanished without a trace. When he told the other guests, no one else had seen a thing, but the footage proved he wasn't imagining it. To this day, no one can explain who or what he saw that night. While out hiking, a group stumbled upon something truly bizarre, a snail, but not just any snail. This one had been hijacked by a parasite that took full control, turning the poor creature into something straight out of a sci-fi horror. The parasite didn't just control its movements, it transformed the snail's appearance to look like a juicy caterpillar. Why? To lure in birds. The snail, now a mindless puppet, was the perfect bait, serving the parasite's twisted plan to get eaten and continue its life cycle. Thankfully, this nightmare scenario only plays out in snails, not humans. But the thought of a parasite being able to hack into a brain and pull the strings? That's the kind of creepy that sticks with you. James Butler was out for a casual hike, peacefully filming the forest around him. But as he pans his camera across the trees, he unknowingly captures something strange, something hiding in the bushes. When he turns to look, it's already gone. But when the footage is slowed down, a chilling detail emerges. A hooded black figure, partially hidden, slowly turning its head toward James. Its face dark and eerily expressionless, it locks eyes with the camera for just a second. Some viewers say it was an animal. Others swear it's a cryptid. But to me, it looked like a person watching, waiting, hidden in plain sight. And honestly, I can't decide what's more disturbing. A Reddit user was hiking through a quiet state forest when they spotted something odd. A lone garage tucked away off the trail. Curiosity got the best of them, so they decided to take a peek inside. What they found left them frozen in shock. At first glance, it looked like a person standing in the shadows. Heart racing, they stepped closer, only to realize it was a mannequin. But this wasn't your average store prop. The eerie figure had a bullet hole in its foot, raising way more questions than answers. Was it used for target practice? Some kind of twisted art project? Or something even more bizarre? No one knows for sure, but one thing's certain. It gave off some seriously unsettling vibes. An Australian man was out for a morning jog when he stumbled upon something truly bizarre. A strange creature sprawled on the ground. It had an abnormally large head, a long tail, and tiny black eyes that stared blankly. Its semi-transparent skin made it look eerily underdeveloped, almost alien. The jogger's footage quickly caught the attention of scientists, but even the experts were left scratching their heads. The creature didn't resemble any known species, and to this day, its identity remains a complete mystery. A Reddit user recently stumbled upon an old photo from a late-night trip to a remote cabin they'd rented years ago. In the eerie glow of their car's headlights, something or someone unexpected appeared. A strange figure, almost human but disturbingly off, stands just beyond the light. It doesn't belong. Was it a trick of the camera? Or did they capture a ghost? TikToker Casey was filming her dog one night, a quirky pup who refused to step outside unless a flashlight lit the way. Everything seemed normal. Until suddenly, the dog froze. Its ears perked up, eyes fixed on something in the darkness. Then came the sound of heavy footsteps crunching through the woods.
What is that?
It sounded like something large walking through the trees. I didn't see this eye glinting, but I heard it move.
Hello? Rocky, what is that? Mom?
As her flashlight swept across the trees, it caught a pair of glowing eyes staring back at her.
My question is, if this one is a deer at this height, what is this one? Why is it staring? The way this one turns its head to look at me, though.
At first, she assumed it was a deer, but those eyes didn't flinch. They didn't move. They just stared. And something about the way they locked onto her made her blood run cold. Was it just a deer or something else entirely? While waiting for fireworks during a backpacking trip, a Reddit user snapped a photo in an empty church parking lot. What they captured was anything but ordinary. In the background, a mysterious figure appears, draped in what looks like a flowing white gown, eerily similar to that of a bride. The ghostly silhouette, paired with the unsettling stillness of the setting, has ignited a wave of curiosity and debate. Was it just a trick of the camera? Or did they accidentally photograph something truly supernatural? While walking her dog near the edge of the Appalachian woods, Zari experienced something she couldn't quite explain.
Maybe somebody's chasing me down. I don't know what to do.
Out of nowhere, her dog yanked her off the trail. Brushing it off as typical canine curiosity, she decided to start filming just for fun. It wasn't until later, while rewatching the footage, that she noticed it. A shadowy figure lurking in the distance, motionless, watching. The discovery sent chills down her spine. Thankfully, her walk ended without incident, but the eerie presence remains a mystery. So what do you think Zari saw out there? Wildlife expert Forrest Galante was deep in the swamps of Everglades City, Florida, filming during a thunderstorm when nature gave him a jolt he'll never forget.
And there's alligators cruising around. There's a couple things that I absolutely cannot live without. One of those is a GPS. Doesn't matter where you go in the world, you should always have a GPS, and I used to carry a big, bulky handheld one, and I got hit. I felt it, yeah. I got hit. That hurt. Yeah, it just hurt.
Shit, really?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Alright.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck it.
Got that on video? Yeah, was that on video?
No, I think they both jumped, but I got hit. That hurt.
Come sit down.
Really hurt, actually.
Come sit down. Yeah.
I'm okay.
He was struck by lightning. Holding a heavy handheld device and standing waist deep in murky water, Galante suddenly felt a surge of electricity rip through his body. The shock sent his muscles into convulsions and left a strange metallic taste in his mouth. It was a terrifying reminder of just how unpredictable and dangerous fieldwork in the wild can be. Thankfully, Galante walked away without serious injuries, but with one electrifying story to tell. A lone hiker wandered along a secluded trail, bordered by vast open fields and dense, shadowy woods, not a soul in sight for kilometers. As darkness crept in, a blood-curdling scream shattered the silence.
Oh my God.
It echoed through the trees, but there was no one there. Spinning in circles, flashlight cutting through the blackness, he saw nothing, just empty woods, and those haunting, disembodied cries that refused to stop. With every step forward, his nerves unraveled. This hike had just turned into something far more chilling. Reddit user Picture Electrical 748 thought they were just snapping a cute pic of their dog, Bailey, but what showed up in the background has everyone doing a double take. Behind Bailey, a mysterious figure in a flowing white dress appears to be floating, even though no one else was there at the time. Now the internet's buzzing. Did they accidentally photograph a ghostly apparition? Or is there another explanation for this eerie image? Reddit user Most Hallucinations and a friend set out into the woods after noticing something strange during a hunt. Armed with curiosity and a camera, they recorded a 50-minute video, hoping to catch something their eyes couldn't. At first glance, nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but when they reviewed the footage later, they were stunned. A ghostly figure had been watching them from the shadows. So, what exactly did they capture that night? While hiking deep in Mexico's remote Sierra San Juan forest, a group of friends stumbled into something they'd never forget. Just as the clock neared 6 a.m., the stillness of the early morning was shattered by a blood-curdling scream that ripped through the dense trees so close it felt like it came from right beside them. They knew this forest. They'd hiked it before, and at that hour, no one else should have been out there. The scream didn't sound human, or at least not fully. It had an unnatural edge, like something out of a nightmare. Chilled to the bone and gripped by a sense of danger they couldn't quite explain, the group ditched their route and made a beeline back to safety, never looking back and never finding out what or who was watching from the woods. While driving through a dense wooded stretch of Kentucky, a Reddit user spotted something that stopped him in his tracks. He snapped a photo, and what it revealed sent chills down many spines. In the image, a shadowy black figure with glowing eyes loomed among the trees, eerily similar to the legendary Dark Watchers. Skeptics chalked it up to a black bear, but locals quickly chimed in with unsettling stories of their accounts of deep, heavy breathing echoing from the forest and sightings of a towering, human-like silhouette some are convinced was Bigfoot. With a long history of strange creatures and paranormal encounters in the region, this sighting has only deepened the mystery surrounding Kentucky's haunted woods. While walking alone on a secluded trail deep in the woods, a TikToker suddenly heard a chilling cry.
Creepy as shit. I don't even know. Did you guys hear that? There's nobody out here. I keep hearing somebody. Hold on. There's no way, you guys. Oh my God.
Without waiting to find out what or who was out there, she bolted, heart pounding. In the comments, some viewers insisted she should have gone to check, worried someone might have truly needed help. But others warned it could have been a trap, and praised her for trusting her instincts and getting out while she could. What would you have done?